might have been earlier. They got there at noon right after the drive. Probably was about 30.
$50 million allegedly in gambling debt at MGM. They must just let him gamble on whatever he wants, right? Why would you
He's
even
got a
care?
credit limit.
Yeah. Oh.
They set you a limit.
It'd be great if it ended up.
Did you ever get a limit?
$50 million. No, I'm just kidding.
It'd be great if they had him
I
like
did.
the Joe
got a
Pesci
limit
scene
there.
in Casino. He's in there yelling at Don Rickles.
Yeah. You know what the problem with the credit is about 3 days after you're done, they hit your bank account if you didn't make it back. So, all of a sudden I'll be like, oh shit, $2,000 just came out of bank account. You try to explain that to your girl.
Oops.
Next time. All right. Well, Kevin has been booking mystery guests. We haven't had one in a while. So this is somebody I used to work with?
You have worked with in the past, yes.
I have worked with this person in the past.
Yes. I believe Mark may have as well.
Mark may have as well.
Okay.
Were they on the sales or the programming side?
They were on the on-air side.
So the programming side, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Were they on air?
Yes.
Okay. Were they a host of a show or a co-host?
Co-host.
Were they on Weeze's show?
Yes.
I already know who it is.
I bet you do. I bet you're right.
You know who I'm
When
thinking?
he said sir, so I was going to say Sally.
I was going to say Scott Van Dusen.
It's not Scott Van Dusen.
Wow. That's a pretty good guess.
That's what I was thinking.
Jamie Lissow.
Is it Jamie Lissow?
Wow.
Over
Look
here.
at you. Jamie Lissow. Jamie who? Jamie.
Love Jamie Lissow.
Jamie.
Hold on.
Did you mute us?
No.
Did you mute?
I just didn't switch back over to the board.
Oh. Hey,
I suck.
Jamie, how's the podcast with your girlfriend?
Dude, it's going very good. And first of all, when you guys were talking about gambling,
Yes.
you literally made my stomach hurt. I don't know if I ever told you guys. I lost the biggest bet. I got married, and yeah, just didn't turn out the way I thought.
So,
And
Jamie, I have so many
podcast going
things.
great.
I have so many
Yeah.
things. Well, the podcast, the way I've seen your teases and stuff for it, and it looks like it's really good. What's it called again? I want to say sex something, but I think I'm saying it wrong.
It's called Afraid to Ask. You're sex. You're thinking of the only topics we discuss.
But is
But
she
yeah, it's called Afraid to Ask. Yeah.
is she a therapist?
She is a medical doctor, a family medicine doctor, and so we really lean on the classes in family medicine that have to do with penises and vaginas and sex,
Okay.
and we answer whatever questions people are afraid to ask. You know what I mean? And
It's a
it's
great
going
idea.
really well.
I bet
Yeah.
I bet it is. I bet it's going
Still,
really
Bill's got a question. Why are Irish ones so small?
I mean, it sounds like you won the bet. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't sound like you lost on this one.
He won the new one. He traded in.
Oh, trade up. All right,
Listen,
guys,
Cell phone, new every two.
done that.
Listen, if you guys want to hack to send a dirty picture, if you have a small penis, buy a tiny quarter and take your penis picture next to that, and it'll make it appear bigger. And you just say this guy, or you use an airplane water bottle, and you just write, "Hey, it's my penis in a liter of water," and then just deal with it when you get there. You know what I mean? Just deal with whatever happens.
Jamie, the last time I saw you was the weekend before COVID. You were at the club.
Oh,
And then
that's right.
that Monday, they at least here, they had just declared it a pandemic the Wednesday prior. You were at the club. I think I did a few minutes in there, and then the next day it was like everything shut down after that. So,
Dude, you are exactly right. I remember you refused to shake my hand, and there was finally a reason.
but what happened? So, what happened to you during that time? What did you do?
I wrote me and Rob Schneider
Okay.
lost like a ton of work. He lost so much work, man. He was doing a tour with Sandler. I was just like at the opener and stuff, but like I lost a lot of work too. But that man got crushed by COVID. Like he had a crazy tour that was happening, and like it just all shut down. And we actually decided we're going to write this movie, right? So we just go, let's just do something during COVID. And so we write this movie, and I don't know how, but within a couple months, we didn't write the movie. We wrote like a one sheet. Within a couple months, we got funding by the guys that own like, God, they're going to be so mad at me. Oh, they own like Raising Cane's. You know that chicken place?
Yeah. Yep.
And so they liked the movie. They had a lot of money. They wanted to do it. And somehow we get Adam Sandler's wife on board. We get John Cleese, because he's not doing anything during the pandemic, and the timing works out to where we sell the movie, we write the whole thing, and when COVID lets people work again, we film the movie starting like the next day.
Wow.
And so,
Damn.
yes, you know how people have like COVID babies? That was ours.
Yeah.
That was our COVID baby.
Ricky's to Nicky.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, like we.
It's amazing because I just, as I'm watching you, I watched, was it Real Rob? Was that what it was called on Netflix?
Yeah, Real Rob.
Yep. I watched Real Rob. I watched you on there. I thought it was really funny.
It was really funny.
I did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that show. I know that I just was like, wow, look at all the shit that Jamie's doing. And that was all after being part of Weeze's show, which was one of my favorite things that you ever did.
Oh man, I really appreciate that. That was a fine time in my life, man. I think back on those days with just a lot of joy, and I think everything we did was set us up for. I don't know. I feel like everything we do sort of sets us up for what we do later. Like I just did Corolla's podcast.
Okay.
And I remember him going, like, when we were done, he's like, how are you so good at podcast? And I go, dude, I feel like it's from, just like being on with Wheeze.
Yeah.
You're never going to be on with a more difficult host.
No,
and I'm just kidding. I love that man. But he
It's
just
true.
taught me
You
how
can
to
say
do
it.
how to crush morning radio.
Yes.
Like
yes, he
being
did.
on that show.
Well,
So-
you should have. Did you tell Adam that it was Weeze's show?
I don't think I did.
All right. Well, here's why.
Does he know him?
No, but so because Weeze's whole connection to, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care. Well, Weeze's whole connection to Howard Lapidus, and Howard was the manager and the owner of the Man Show, so he had managed Adam and Jimmy and all these guys.
Oh my God, that's right.
Right. So Adam's doing a book. Adam's doing a book tour now. I wasn't on Weeze's show, but I was back over at that company. And Weeze is like, bro, we got this Adam Carolla. So I said, he goes, what do you know about him? I go, I don't know. I said, I know he likes your boy, John Hyatt, and some stuff. Adam wound up going back on his podcast, talking about the book radio tour that he did, and played Weeze's show as the worst interview he has ever been a part
Oh
of.
no.
Oh, my God.
no.
He shit all over it. Like, completely
no.
shit all over it. Yeah. Yeah. And I was,
Oh, no.
and
I've never heard
being,
that before.
I was being, I was being a little bit of a dick because when Jamie was part of Weeze's show, Tommy and I were still at CMF.
That's right.
Do you remember when we went to Nashville?
Yeah, morning show boot camp.
Yes, boot camp.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it when I was calling your show. I thought about how much fun we had. It was like me, you, and Tommy.
Yes, we had a great time.
At some bar.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember it was the first time we ever just sort of talked, like the three of us. It's been a while.
Yep. And then you and I, but what my favorite was, I just have to say this. So there used to be, they would write these jokes on this prep service that came out. Somebody would write jokes, right?
Yes.
And so we had a guy come in, and we used to do jokes from a broke guy. And he would really sell the jokes. And I said on air, we should, and I was just thinking around the country, there's so many stations that got the same prep service, had the same jokes written. And I said that somebody should record this and send it out and show how to deliver these jokes. And I think you were told that I said should send it to Jamie to show him how to do it. And I never said that, but that was the word.
You didn't say it.
I didn't.
But somebody else made a comment about it though.
On that show?
On the show.
I don't think so.
But
it was never said about him.
never his name, but they said something about over there or something.
I don't know. I don't even remember over there. I just know that it got ugly. So Jamie asked me about it. I remember being like, no, I don't remember that at all. But Jamie, since then,
I vaguely remember that.
I would
but
never say that.
I was drinking a lot at the time, and there's never been any hard feelings. I had no hard anything because I had been married for a while at the time, and. But yeah, nothing but love. I vaguely remember that. But I remember, dude, you remember in radio, like it almost seems funny to think about it now. The things that seemed like kind of a big deal are the most laughable, like even the things that were like kind of drama. Like I remember going to Rochester with Schneider once, and then like someone going on the air and like saying something negative about him on Weezer.
Yes,
and
yes,
just, like,
yes.
Just a crazy. I felt like I was watching like Big Brother season 7 and
Yes.
caring about them.
Yes.
Like, and then you move on with your life, and you're like, wow, this is like. It's all just fun and
it's
silly,
Rochester.
and as we get older,
It's everywhere.
like, yeah, like
Rochester loves drama.
Yeah,
It's
but,
everywhere.
but it is everywhere in radio because, and you're right. And I always said, Jamie, that radio was like the C student. It's where the C student went. And then Jamie went on. I mean, I see you all over Gutfeld,
Yeah. That's why you can't do it Wednesday.
crushing it there. Oh, you're on Gutfeld again?
yeah, I'm doing. I think I'm in a lot. I'm doing like this Wednesday. I'm doing 8 in the next 4 weeks. So I think I'm doing like Wednesday, Thursday. We're doing a bunch of like back to backs just because my schedule's getting kind of crazy. My girlfriend lives in Boise where I am right now. And so I'm trying to like maximize, same thing we're just talking about, like family time and
Yeah.
priorities. So Gutfeld's trying to give me like more appearances like in a shorter amount of time. And so it starts next week. I am on there so much. I cannot, people are going to get so tired of me.
I don't think they do. I think you're very funny and you have such a nice delivery on that show. And you don't. Like, you know what I love is
Thanks,
like
man.
you're not one of those.
I worked at Domino's Pizza for a long time.
The Daily Show's going to call
I'm
soon.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, but you know
You're
what?
about to compliment me. I should have just let you go.
No, what I was going to say is you have a way of not being one of those comics who's got to like force their way in or take over the entire. It's just you fit it into the When I watch, I always thought you did a really, really, really great job with that. I am.
You know what, dude?
yeah.
I want to say thank you for that. And I feel like this is not a joke. I feel like my entire career, I don't have much of an ego, right? In my whole life, I don't mind being the guy behind the guy, or in Rob Schneider's case, the guy behind the guy that's behind the guy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, I've always owned the website robschneidersfriend.com.
Yep.
And I've always owned Adam Sandler's friend.com. I now own Greg Gutfeld's friend.com. I'm very comfortable setting people up for success. And like, I am so grateful. I cannot even believe I've been doing comedy for a long time. And to be just now selling out, like I sold out 9 shows in Naples, Florida 2 weeks ago. For it to happen to me now,
Amazing.
like the gratefulness is through the roof. And like, I just feel like the more you help like Johnny Carson, this whole thing, like make other people be funny, I just feel like it's a better life and people like you more and you get along better. Like, I don't know. I've just never wanted the pressure of being like the star of a thing. I'm so happy being like the guy behind the guy. And I mean, that's what it was like in my marriage. There was another guy and I was behind it. No, but dude, really, really quick, just before we go, I remember with that morning show boot camp thing, because there was like the radio competition and like Tommy had been on his show. I remember like that moment talking to you guys at that bar being like, how are we competitive? Like, how is there ever any sort of dumb competitive thing? And I talked to you and Tommy, I think till 3 a.m. and Weeze the next day at like
Sounds
5
like
p.m.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like waking up and he was like, are you going to go to any of these like things today? The reason we're here. And I was like, no, man, I go, morning show boot camp, I think is about what I did last night.
Yep.
Which is hang out with Moran and Tommy and realize like, oh my God, like we're all the same and friends and this is great. And like, this is all stupid.
It is all stupid. When are you at the comedy club?
Oh, I think I'm there the first weekend in April.
I think it's the 5th and the 6th.
The 5th and the 6th?
Yeah.
I want to talk to them to see if there's time, like maybe Saturday during the day. I know you've got family around that you probably want to see. But I'm starting another podcast, but I want to do it as more of a docu-series. And it's called Radio Days, talking about just the shit we went through in radio. Basically what you're saying here. But it's shot a little differently. I don't know if you have time. I would love to have you in to tape an episode of that if you have time.
You know what, man? I don't know my schedule, but
Okay.
I would give anything to spend some time away from my family when I'm there. So if you don't have my cell, have Kev give it to you.
Okay.
Just hit me up like the week of. I'd love to.
All right. I don't want to bug you, but I really appreciate it. Are you in Boise now?
I am. We just went to. I did Reno this weekend. It was so fun. There's a Laugh Factory there, and my girlfriend came with me for the weekend, and then we drove to Boise because the flights are so bad, you can drive faster than you can fly. And so we just drove 8 hours, and we decided that, like, you know how when you get married in the Catholic Church and they make you go to like that retreat to make sure you get along, just have people drive 8 hours to Boise. It's the same thing. And it was really fun. We actually just rolled in like maybe 10 minutes before I called you. We just woke up at 7 in the morning from Tahoe and just took this like beautiful drive and yeah, just rolled in.
Oh, that's awesome. Boise is beautiful. The first radio station I ever stepped in was Cat Country in Boise, Idaho. I was about 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents drove cross country and we were in Boise and stopped there. My uncle at the time was living up in Seattle. We went to the World's Fair in Vancouver. He now lives in Park City, and I spent a summer there once, and I fucking loved it. It's just gorgeous.
I love it, man. Like the only thing I don't like is when you get to Boise, Idaho, they go like, hot. You know, I did a show here. I land, and they pick you up, and I go, it's so good to be in Boise, and they go, hey, it's pronounced Boise, and I go, could you give me a second? I just got here. Like they immediately start criticizing. I go, maybe give people a second. Maybe let them get in the car first. Maybe you bring it up first. And I go, can we go to the Sioux? Do you guys mix up all the letters? But yeah, great city, man.
Yeah. Well,
my girlfriend's at the window right now dancing. She's a lovely.
If you need Bill to come on your other podcast, you guys can do dueling dick jokes with the doc, and that might be funny too.
I would love it.
Yes, I'm sure you would.
We'll call it dueling doc jokes. That'll be great.
Jamie, thank you for agreeing to do this, and I would love to see you when I will definitely see you and come to the club and see you. But I'd love to see you in here if you have a few minutes.
Let's do it, man. I would love to. Hit me up for sure.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Jamie.
Talk to you later. All right, peace.
Bye.
That was a good, very
That
good,
was
Kevin.
a great one, Kevin.
Very good, Kevin.
I've been working that one for a while.
I'm glad you got him on Monday too.
So I always thought that because there was like I remember, God, I did more comedy back years ago, and I can remember so many nights, and there was everything he's saying about like the radio ego stuff was even in the comedy world, and people trying to move things around and stuff. And Jamie was always just cool.
He was.
But he and I played shit out in 315. We did I used to call it Ag's basement. It was my grandmother's basement is what it looked like. It was where we did comedy.
I met him and Wheeze and Tommy. They used to do open comedy night at Captain's Attic back in the 90s.
Yes.
And Jamie was just getting big back then. He was still on the radio, but he was the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Funny as hell. And that's how I met Wheeze and Tommy and all those guys. They used to do open mic on Monday nights. It was great.
Yep.
It's also great to know that your sense what caused the country to shut down.
They did a contest there, and he won it.
Yeah.
It was right when he started.
I think he won twice.
It's right when he started. It's right when he first started.
Yeah.
Then he came on. I
used to love when he did this little princess joke, and at the end of the night, he would rip open his shirt, and he'd have this like half shirt on. This little princess. It was almost like a prop comedy, but he was really good. Then ended up on the Tonight Show. Then the Wheeze thing I brought up, and I shouldn't have done that, but it was a little tongue in cheek because I know there was some bumps along the way for my man.
Yeah.
There's some bumps. There's some bumps. And I think there was a lot of pressure, and you hadn't done it, so you don't have the rhythm down, you know what I mean? And when you listen back at stuff, he did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
He did a great job. All right, we'll take a moment. We'll get into Mark's creepy. Not Mark's creepy. Let me rephrase that. Mark's going to tell us who is the creepiest and also the letter to Mark. It's a sex dream somebody had. Yes, from a creep. We'll get to all that next. But first.